Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account. We're already at almost 20,000 diamonds, which is awesome. So I have been going through the Temple Rift. We've made a lot of progression. Of course, we got the additional floors that actually came out today with the reset. So we have another 6 days and 21 hours till we actually get the reset. And I want to go through the Temple Rift teams that I'm using because essentially, guys, you have to max everything out in here. You want to make sure that you're not only getting your chests, you're getting your cores, but you are also picking up these medals of courage. Now, a lot of players in here went and we bought out the copy of Eugene. And again, continuing the progression within here. But overall, Eugene, very expensive in here. But if you're looking to maximize the copies and getting the heroes out, we still don't know at this point exactly how effective this hero is going to be because, of course, we can't build him out at this point. Now, I've been going in here. We've been buying out all of our time emblems, buying out all of our Stargazer scrolls, and literally just going down the tier and buying everything out as we can get enough resources out of here. Now, overall, the teams that I use in here are pretty basic. We've actually used these for quite a bit of time. So right in here, we do run and looking at our teams. First one is the Light Girl. Now this, of course, is the awakened version of Belinda along with Ulna. Now this, of course, is a super broken formation in here. Now I am running this with really triple support, which you could do a couple different heroes in here. You could use Jerome in here if you wanted to kind of update this a little bit. I am running Rowan in here with Palmer and then with Ivan. You could also run possibly Rosaline in here, again, kind of as another buffer. You could put Halos in here, a couple different formations that you could kind of run. And then we are running the Rock Lizard as our beast. This, of course, is going to allow the survivability of these heroes to really amp. Now in here, of this formation, the only thing you're looking to do is get that awakened version of Belinda to alt. That is it. That is the one and only spot that you want to get it. Now, the second team we are running is the Void team. Now, this one, of course, once you start getting the buffs out of the Temple Rift, and then you start putting in the artifacts that we have in there, the relics we have in there, makes a big difference. We are running the seal within this one. And it, of course, this is the dimensional team. So we have a lot of utility and a lot of survivability, having that awakened version of Sophia, and then, of course, having Merlin in there. And also with Amelia, because Amelia is going to provide that instant crowd control, giving Rem the ability to actually ult very, very fast. And again, when you start stacking a bunch of different things on there, a bunch of badges on there, it works very well. And of course, the awakened version of Sophia. Now, you could swap a different damage dealer in here. There's a couple different variations if you don't have Rem in here that you could swap out. Again, just kind of thinking of that damage factor. And looking at our next team is the Gemini team. Now, this, of course, is one that works super well. Now, of course, the big thing with here is running Liberta with Lucilla is just completely broken. We have Brutus in here, of course, for that shielding ability. Halos in here for the buffing and that shielding ability. We have Naruko in here, which again, buffing, healing damage. Very, very strong, unique Mauler hero. Liberta putting out the damage. Lucilla's hard to kill, even if she dies. Has the resurrection ability in there. And this one we are running Talisman. Now Talisman, of course, is going to provide a lot of crowd control in there if you're fighting the undead or the hypos, which again, some of it is, makes a very, very strong, well-rounded team right here. And honestly, this is probably one of the strongest teams that we see. Now, looking at the next one, we have the Super Fox team. This is where I actually dropped in Jerome. And this one again, so when you think of the build of this team, we have the awakened version of Leica. Leica, of course, is going to have that burst right at the very beginning, but also going to have the delay coming into the battlefield. Also going to do the damage reduction for Tamaris and for Jerome in here, which means Tamaris is going to dive in, going to group up all of these enemies with that increase to that damage reduction, leaving Jerome alone and actually being able to keep him alive. When Demia ults, of course, that is going to increase the survivability as well. We have Solus in here to keep everyone fully healed, as well as the sprites. And then, of course, we do have the Owl that is going to be buffing up haste on the heroes that are in here. And the awakened version of Leica, when you start putting, again, kind of the buffs behind there, works incredibly well. And she is a super solid hero in there. Now, the final one we have is our Sword team. Now, of course, we have the awakened version of Thane. We have the awakened version, or excuse me, we have Mulan, and then we do have Vathiel in here. So definitely with the triple swords right there, which is awesome. Now, these are older formations, but again, they have worked for an incredible amount of time. And then, of course, we have Mishka in here. You could pop Mishka out actually right now. You could put Eltis in here. You could put a bunch of different heroes in here that will work incredibly well within these formations. And again, just thinking about some of the heroes that we have support, you could even run, in here with the awakened version of Shmira. You could do Ivan. You could do Lady Simona. You could do possibly like a Hodgkin. You could do Silas. There's a bunch of different formations that you can actually run based on who exactly you have built within a bunch of different game modes. And then, of course, this one, we do have the Winged Lion in here, which again, you could kind of play around with this a little bit. A lot of people do run the Moth in here. That way the Moth will actually buff up that awakened version of Thane and just allow that one to rocket. Now, of course, some of the other big pets, the Panda, the Panda Dumpty, crowd control does incredibly well with the Bamboo. Also with the Ice Crown, you could go that route as well. A lot of players possibly on lower levels might not have them built out as well, but it will work super well within a couple different game modes. Now, of course, including with the event, we have the Treasure Vanguard that is up right now. We are currently in third. Going in here and making sure you are just farming this out as soon as possible. That is the only way that you're actually going to get all of the loot in here, is making sure, again, that you're farming these out every opportunity that you have, because this is the collaboration of everybody who has been placed within this exact same faction. So all of the heroes that we have in here, and you can see Izoki, some of the heroes that we do follow a lot of the formations, Bananas in there, making sure, again, that we have, and we're really buffing these players up for the PvP aspect, because that's essentially what you're doing. When you start looking at the military camp, this is buffing up the heroes or the players that we're utilizing within PvP, making a really big difference for the build. Now, in addition to that, Mystic Star Zone is going to be back pretty soon. Product Pop Quiz is still here. We have the Treasure Scramble that's going on, almost complete. Again, the Temple Rift kind of updated. We have the Misty Valley. And coming out with the calendar, we still have Celestial Isles are coming up, which is going to be very, very cool to see, which coming up pretty soon. But overall, I do want to also finish out our campaign stage. That is right, guys. We are on 59-60. This is the last one. Already set up this formation. I want to go ahead and auto battle it. Now, very similar to what we've seen. I'm looking at Belinda Alna. This is probably one of the strongest combinations that we see within campaign formations. Also tower formations. She does so much damage. That is the reason why she is still one of the top tier awakened heroes. You can see right there, just literally burning through. Now, this one, interesting. So a lot of combinations, they're running 3 heroes, which again, thinking of the level deficiency where we're running 400 levels plus, it's very unique with how this works in the level deficiencies. And again, a lot of the regular formations are running this exact same team. We're even seeing Thorn with a couple. We've seen even Geralt in here for a lot of these formations. And you can see with the Shroom Spooter, of course, with the taunt ability that we have. So they actually are attacking not the heroes that we have, getting through pretty easy in there. Again, with 3 heroes at a 400 plus level deficiency. Now this one, crowd control. This is all about the crowd control here. Boom, crowd control off the bat. Leonardo triggers the crowd control again. And of course, the duration of the crowd control extends because of Leonardo in here. This gives the ability for the Slumbering Seal to do damage. That is really what we're looking in here, is the amplification factor that the Slumbering Seal is getting. And it's, again, kind of crazy. When you start getting into the very high level deficiencies like this, it is really the crowd control aspect is the only way that you can live and that you can get through these game modes, period. That is it. Because the majority of the enemy team being at a very high level deficiency, they will hit you once and it's game over. That is really it. Now this, of course, we have the Thorn Cheese. Gonna be, of course, some RNG when we're looking at Leica, when we're looking at the haste. Also, when we're looking at Lorzen for that linking ability, the link goes right to Trishia in the back. And we have to make sure that we can get this to ult. Again, this formation, very similar to the Mahira formation, very, very heavy when it comes to that RNG aspect. There we go. There's the retaliation. Boom. We get it done. The second time we get that done, didn't have to go through a ton. And then, of course, we have Matria in here. This is another one that, of course, with the triple hypo in here, bringing everyone together for that burn effect. Kanisa and Rook is a hero that is just broken. It literally, the hero, as much as I love the hero, love the utility that we have with Kanisa and Rook. Not only kind of that mitigation factor, very strong when it comes to the energy disintegration and the survivability, and kind of keeping everyone together in there. Then here, I feel like the Fox Fatale is going to provide us some crowd control, but this is going to be another one that the RNG factor in here is going to have to click, because if Mahira or if Matria dies very early, have to see if we can take the rest of these out. And this, again, thinking of the formation, this is a pretty interesting formation for this final one. And we have all these heroes built. I mean, we have Frampton built, we have Kanisa and Rook built, and I don't feel like we're getting to the point, which there we were almost done. We almost got through. And this is the last stage of chapter 59 at this point, meaning that we're going to be moving into 60, hopefully. Now, of course, we do have the flames up here. We have the burning going on. Just got to get that RNG factor to work with this one. And a lot of you are still, and I've heard a lot of comments about Pippa as well. Yes, Pippa is still one that works in an incredible amount of formations. I like the way that Pippa works. It does work well, which there's the ult, there's the fear. Can we take out Thorin? There's the charm. Boom, that did it. I think that did it. It did. That takes it out. Chapter 59 is now complete, guys. That is right. Let's look through this. Look, 2 trillion damage. That is insane that we have her putting out 2 trillion damage here. Even here, 351, the 596, which of course the Shroom Spooter in there, 262 billion. That's right. And again, when you think of 2 trillion that our first hero is putting out, but of course, when we look here, 1.29 trillion damage from a beast, kind of broken right there. 1.26 trillion. And the final one with Matria puts out almost 1 trillion damage in here as well. So very, very cool to see. And that is going to conclude it for chapter 59, guys. We're going to go ahead. Boom. We get the little pop-up right there. Next chapter, which we have never seen, the Tourmaline Ruins. And it's weird because it doesn't look like anyone's here. So literally, it is just us, guys. We are in the chapter by ourselves, but we'll get those red chests, also picking up some of those emblem choice chests, tier 4 stones, Stargazer scrolls, then of course tier 3 stones. We are still working on building out Lucius. If you remember with this one, we're actually building out, boom, we have enough for one more, which is going to take him to a 39. Now again, with these epic emblems, just have to get a couple more. That will take him to a 40, which once we get him to a 40, we have also started building out Demia. Now, of course, Demia is going to be the red chest in here, but I'm going to save him right now because we know the new Greyborn hero is going to be coming up on Tuesday. So I'm actually going to save some of these red chests, see exactly where that new Greyborn hero kind of comes in at. If we're starting to see him in formations, I want to make sure, again, that we do have some resources, but we have a lot of content to still cover. As we get into chapter 60, that is really, really cool to see. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.